I'm Ron and I've been hacking things my whole life. Today we're going to be making a DIY sci-fi watch using my Glowforge laser cutter, and we're going to be doing that right after this. At the end of the video, I'm going to explain how the soldering worked, and I'm going to explain what I did while I was soldering it up and what I would do in the future. So the way that I cut the watch out with the laser cutter is that I cut a bunch of prototypes out of denim, and that denim enabled me to test out the different versions of the watch, and I was able to kind of get it right and put it on and nail it right when I was the first time without wasting a lot of leather. I used a huge roll of leather that I bought used, so I was able to get this really nice look, and it's going to look even better when it gets a little bit worn, because I'm going with that Mad Max Blade Runner for this prop. So I'm happy about that. So let's go ahead and put it all together. I went ahead and expanded the holes for the electronics, and then I added an extra little button to give it a little bit more of a hack look with the wires there. I used these old nuts from Harbor Freight, these cheap imported hexagon. They look pretty cool, and then of course they're not the right size, so I'm just going to cut these off. Make sure I don't cut my fingers off like some mafia movie.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive. With every star, we are born again.
Okay, so that's it. There's my watch. All right, so now for the rest part of the video, I'm going to do the soldering of the actual watch. Okay, guys, so list of parts, and those list of parts are right here, and I'm going to quickly go through those list of parts. We have a couple capacitors. We have 3 resistors. We have 3 resistors there. We have the most important quartz crystal for, this is the quartz crystal. Let me see if I can give a backdrop. This is the quartz crystal for the, that makes the watch keep time. I'm going to put that back in there. We have we have the LED light here that has an up and a down. Notice that the dot, dot, dot are the decimals. It's down, so a lot of times you can solder this wrong. And then we have the switch for the watch. We of course have the circuit board for the watch. We have the battery holder that we have to solder on. We have a battery, and we have the IC, and these chips will enable it to be programmed and be able to do some cool stuff as far as a clock goes. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to, and by the way, if you think I'm a good solder person, I'm not. I'll probably burn myself with this multiple times, but let's go ahead and take these resistors, and we will bend these resistors over so they fit into the slot. They will be going right up in here. Gonna bend these resistors over so you can see here that they need to be bent right at the edge. So I'm actually going to just bend them like this and like this, and then I'm going to test to see how they fit in. Here, that's a little too tight, so I'm going to try to bend those right up to their edge of where they need to go. So I'm going to bend them right up to their edge. Okay? So that is what it looks like, bent right to its edge. And I'm going to bend that one right up to its edge and that right up to its edge. There we go. Okay, and then the last one, real quickly, right up to its edge. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put these in. They're all the same resistors. There. I'm just going to put them in the same exact color. I don't think it makes a difference, but I'm going to put them in just because this watch is going to be very visible for the prop I'm making. Again, this is for a movie, DIY, extremely low budget movie I'm working on. The gold is always to the left. And now I have each one of those in there. And now there's a little trick, and I'm going to use this throughout it all. I'm just kind of pushing them down. It's very important they look nice. I'm going to be adding a little piece of tape here to little bit of tape here so that when I solder these on, they stay really nice there. So I'm going to flip that over. Now I'm going to make sure I have all of these in. Kind of pulling them out and over. And I'll snip them off when they're done. I'm going to do one more double check that I got everything right and it's through all the holes, and they are. So I'm going to push this down there because I need that all to be right and lined up. Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to solder this in. So I'm taking my very thin solder. I have a filtration system going, which is just a little fan. Going to be heating up. I don't think you want to go any more than 1 to 3 seconds. Remember, my soldering skills really suck, guys. So I should be heating up the other side, and I need to tie down this thing a little bit harder on this side. It's starting to move on me. So I'm going to be... This is a little bit... I like about this is that the more you'll see here that I may go faster. Alright, I'm checking my temperature. It seems that I'm doing good. I'm like really sucking at this. I'm like really sucking. Wow. Maybe I'll get better. So I'm going from the other end, just kind of holding it.
There we go. I'm getting better. Don't know if I like that soldering thing, but this one is so close. Wow. Oh my gosh. I think this is why you need flux. I think all of them are soldered in now. Yep. So now I take my little snippers here and I snip these off. Okay, so that's good. Wish this was autofocus. Cancel. Function. Function. I would say that this is cinema manual. There's focus. So that's that. This is so there's the 3 resistors there. I'm not terribly happy with them, but the 3 resistors are in there. Okay, so now it says to I'm following the instructions here on following the instructions on an iPad. Now I'm going to be doing the liquid crystal display. That over. So now I need to solder the liquid crystal display. And this is probably, I'm going to fry this if I don't go fast. There we go. I'm heating up the little pad. There we go. And now we want to snip that off. So the liquid crystal display. So here is the liquid crystal display. Now we'll do the IC things. The IC chips are right here. Might as well start with the big kahuna. The crystal solder. The notches for the two IC clips, RTC and PIC, must real-time clock. So this must be the real-time clock over here, which is, this is the real-time clock. That's going to go over here, and then this is the PIC. Must be a controller. And I think I'm going to put the W up at the top. I don't see anything different. So the capacitors go in first. The two notches on the IC, these two ICs are soldered directly onto the board. Okay, so we're going to do the capacitors first. We're going to do these here, put these in. Again, I'm going to be putting my there we go. So now what I've learned is you heat up this little pad right there. Let's see if I can zoom in. So I'm heating up this little tiny pad first, and then the solder sucks to it. It's way better than what I was trying to do. Basically let the some law of attractability help, but I gotta heat up that little pad. This is good that I'm getting this practice out of the way before I do those chips. There we go. Now I can clip these off. So we got our two capacitors now in there. That's good. Now I'm going to put in the IT switch, the notches. This goes like this, so that the W is up in the corner. Yeah, so this is just here. So this is the notches. Says the notches on the two IC chips must match up with the notches printed on the thing. Okay, so there's the notch. This is a notch right there. There's a notch right there. Okay, that's going to line up with this notch. That notch. Okay. little bit harder to line these little pins up than you think it is. I'm doing my best. It's like a little wider than you think it is, but I'm just pushing those back. I'm just going to push the pins down a little bit, and down, and then I'm going to try again, lining the notch up. Here we go. I just think those pins were not This is just, I really think I screwed up by messing these pins up. I hope I don't break them off. Oh, wow, it's going in. There we go. They're all in. Okay, so let me take some tape and put the tape over it. Now we'll line up this second. This is the real-time clock, which requires a crystal, and the notch lines up there, so hopefully this will be good. So that'll be good. And then we'll put the tape over it. And now this is the one that I have to solder quickly. So I get lots of practice understanding things. Okay, so I got several things to practice with here. And here I go. I'm going to turn up my heating iron just to make sure I get the fastest, quickest burn possible. Okay, here I go. I'm going to come up from the bottom. Hopefully I'll be jamming. Yeah, so it seems like if I push the solder down on that little pad, the printed PCB board, versatile computer board, I guess, it seems to work. So pushing that down, letting that suck into that hole. Alright, that's it. Should be good. Just go ahead and clip these off here right now. I can tell with my finger that the board's a little bit hot, but oh well. This is important to cut these off flush because of the watch comfort. Can you believe they make an iPhone the same way as this? That's it. So now we're going to be doing the LCD board. There is my watch. It's the real-time clock. It's a real-time clock. I did not cut off the wires for the clip the things off. By the way, these are like $3 at Harbor Freight, these little snippers. I'm thinking about keeping them on my online store. This is pretty good. There we go. Okay, so now the LCD. Now the big thing with the LCD is that it lines up with the numbers line up. So you see how it says ... So it always has a silkscreen print. So these need to line up perfectly. So I'm going to put that right, the ... Here's a good time to take your time doing this. If you get this wrong, it's very difficult to get these things out. Just going slow and wiggling. If anyone has a tip on how to do this, please leave it below. Here we go, ... This is going to be a cool watch. This is the another video is the actual band to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. It's gonna go inside of this band right here. So that's the actual thing I cut on my laser cutter. So that's a separate video. So now I'm going to tape the front. Will this thing work? And start soldering away. Reaching behind, start pushing it down. Starting to get better. Running the tape there. Smell one a little plasticky in here. That was a screw up there. Alright, that was fast. I'm getting better. Definitely wearing some eye stuff so these things don't go flying at me right when I'm clipping them. Clipping them close to the board so the watch will be comfortable to wear. You know, very comfortable to wear. There we go. Now we'll take this undone and then flip it over, take off that, and there we go. So now that's what it's looking like. So that's gonna be in that little, it's gonna be my cool watch right there. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. I now got my watch. Go to trondium.com to see what it's like to build almost a no-budget sci-fi movie, or actually it's a web series. Thanks for watching, guys. Whatever you do, make something that connects someone. Take care. Love you.